Good evening and welcome to the class of 2023 Post-Secondary Planning Information presentation. My name is Andrea Lucero and I'm the College and Career Counselor at Rampart High School. I will post this PowerPoint presentation in the junior class Schoology page as well as on the Rampart College and Career website because it contains some helpful links should you choose to explore those. Today, we will cover several topics to include college and career resources, option after high school, what to do while in high school, the SAT, graduation requirements, higher education admission recommendations or HERE, Naviance, college visits, NCAA, college applications, financial aid, and scholarships. This presentation is just information to get you thinking about what you'd like to do after high school and put these things on your radar. You have many resources available to you this year and next year to help you plan your next steps after high school. There's myself, my assistant, Mrs. Cooper, your counselors, Miss Hinken or Miss Bratt, and our TAG coordinator, Ms. Schneider, if you are a TAG student. We are here to help answer your questions and point you to valuable resources, especially throughout the financial aid and college application processes. You can utilize the Rampart College and Career website, and where we frequently post important upcoming events and information, as well as to check out other helpful resources and links that we have posted there. You also can always reach out to the admissions staff of the colleges to which you're applying to. They are the best resource for you to use to ask questions specific to their college and your application. Naviance is a very important tool for you to use in your post-secondary planning, and you'll want to make sure you know how to log in and find available resources. We will talk more about Naviance a little bit later. Finally, students, you have your parents and teachers available to support you in this process. It's a good idea to keep your parents in the loop of what you'd like to do after high school so they can support you along the way. Your teachers are also a valuable resource to you, and they also will play an important role in your application process by writing letters of recommendation on your behalf. Here are some options after high school. I am here to help you no matter which route you choose to take when you graduate. If you choose to enter the workforce, I can help by providing you with resources to search for job shadows or internships to figure out what you might like to do. If you choose to join the military, you'll want to speak with recruiters, and I have recruiter contact information if you need a place to start. You can also pursue an ROTC scholarship to become a military officer once you graduate from a university, or you can apply to a military academy to achieve that same goal of becoming an officer. Those application processes are more extensive, and you'll want to reach out to me for more information. Military academy application deadlines approach quickly in the fall of your senior year. So it's a good idea to start looking into those processes soon and prepare ahead of time. Some students choose to pursue industry certificates through career and technical schools, and there are many different opportunities available to you. Technical schools offer you hands-on learning experiences to train in the industries where you are passionate about. Technical schools often have connections to companies in specific industries, and your instructors are often professionals with several years of experience in the field. Those connections are great for networking, learning the ropes of your trade, and becoming qualified with licenses, which will give you the basics you need to enter the career you're pursuing. Just a few careers that require basic certifications and licenses include welding, mechanics, cosmetology, HVAC, and more. Students may also choose to attend the community college to pursue an associate's degree to save money, to continue living at home, or to schedule classes around their work schedule. Community colleges are typically a lot cheaper than a four-year university, and after finishing your associate's degree, you can sometimes transfer those credits to a four-year institution to finish your education. If there is something you want to pursue, please check ahead of time with the four-year university to see if the credits you take at a community college will transfer to their school, because it's never guaranteed. Finally, there are many colleges and universities across the nation and the world to look into if you'd like to pursue a four-year degree after high school. It's up to you to research schools and decide which one might be the best fit for your interest, plan of study, and affordability, depending on your financial situation. Junior year is an incredibly important year. When it comes time for you to apply to colleges next fall, you will be submitting transcripts to schools. Those transcripts will include your grades throughout high school, ending with your junior year. It's important that you finish strong this year because colleges will base a large part of their admissions decisions on a student's junior year grades. You'll want to take relevant courses for your intended area of study after high school. For instance, if you want to pursue medicine, it might make sense for you to continue to bulk up on math and science classes next year. Please stay involved in activities and sports and volunteer some of your free time when you can. Colleges want to see well-rounded and balanced individuals in their application pools, and they also want to see how you'll be a positive contributing member of their student body and community. Don't just volunteer this summer, but try to start now if you haven't done so already, and continue throughout your senior year. Colleges can tell if someone's made a last-ditch effort for the sake of putting something on their resume, so stay consistent. Even just a couple of hours every couple of weeks helps you in the long run, and it will also help you make a difference in our community. You'll also want to take the SAT or the ACT. Colleges often don't prefer one exam over the other. All juniors at Rampart are signed up to take the SAT this spring, so you will have an opportunity for that exam. We will talk more about that in the next slide. Our school does not offer the ACT exam, so if you want to take the ACT, you will need to sign up and take that on your own through act.org. The fall is going to sneak up on you pretty quickly, and when it does, college application deadlines hit one right after the other. That is why it's very important to pay attention to college deadlines and the proper procedures that come with their applications. Students, you are taking the reins on your application, so it's vital that you pay attention to what's needed in your application and stay on top of things. Some applications, not all, require letters of recommendations from teachers or counselors. It's important for you to start thinking about which teachers you might want to ask for a letter of recommendation should your application require one. Finally, it's so important that you continue to make good choices. You don't want any behavior incidences to impact any future admissions decisions. The SAT. Several colleges and universities, in fact many, went test optional, meaning students did not have to report test scores in their college applications if they did not want to, or if they didn't have a score to report. This was because many students had not taken the SAT due to COVID shutdowns and the inability to find an operable testing center. Right now, many schools are still continuing this practice, but it's really important that you do your research to know if your schools require a test score as part of their admissions decisions. And if they do require a test score, be aware of their minimum score requirements. Like I said before, our state provides the SAT to all juniors. At Rampart High School, the SAT will be given to 11th grade students on April 13th. Ms. Kramer, our testing coordinator, signed up the juniors to take the SAT, and she will send out more information about logistics and what that day will look like as the date draws closer. If you would like a little bit more practice for the upcoming SAT, Khan Academy offers free online test prep. For more information about Khan Academy or the Rampart SAT, please reach out to me or to Ms. Kramer. We're going to discuss graduation requirements briefly. All students who graduate from District 20 high schools should have a firm foundation in all the core areas to include English, world languages, math, science, and social science, as well as a comprehensive background in the arts, physical education, and other electives. Coursework requirements for graduation are based on the number of units of credit earned in grades 9 through 12. A unit of credit is typically the credit received for a one-semester course, and a minimum of 50 credits in the right categories is required for graduation. In addition to the minimum credit requirement, students must also demonstrate proficiency in both English and in math by having a test score to meet the minimum test requirements, which we will discuss next. This chart here is a breakdown of all of the requirements that are needed for students to meet the graduation credit requirement. Again, students need 50 total. I want to highlight that students must pass both semesters of Algebra 1 to graduate, as well as both semesters of geometry. Students must also complete and pass both credits of U.S. history, as well as civics and law, in addition to English, science, world language, PE, health, and the arts. If you have any questions about your students' current status towards meeting their graduation requirements, please reach out again to Ms. Hinken or Ms. Bratt, your student's grade level counselor, and they can start to help you identify where your student lies. This slide discusses the graduation requirement test score. So for all students in this year's graduation class and thereafter, students must also have a minimum score demonstrating English and math proficiency. And those scores can be obtained by a variety of different options. Primarily at Rampart High School, we use the SAT score to meet this requirement. But the state has identified additional test options that students can use to meet this graduation requirement, to include ACT work keys, the ASVAB, ACT itself, AP scores, as well as others. So again, it's really important for students and parents to understand that the students will need all 50 credits in the proper categories, as well as an English and math test score in order to graduate from District 20. If a student is unable or does not want to submit a test score or does not meet a test score minimum requirement, there is an option for students to complete a capstone project. A capstone project is a body of work that serves as a cumulative academic and intellectual experience for students. Students may demonstrate proficiency in math and ELA by obtaining a passing score on a capstone project by an approved teacher. Students will work with an advisor or teacher during their senior year if they need to do the capstone. And if this is something that you would like your student to do instead of a test score, please, again, reach out to Ms. Hinken or Ms. Bratt to discuss further. That is something can be done next school year. Again, how will parents and students know their progress towards meeting graduation requirements? Per District 20, students and parents will be notified during the fall of their senior year if students have not met the proficiency requirements for English and math. And at that time, students will also be informed if they're not on track for graduation. Students and parents can track their own status through the academic planner, which is an option available to students on the Infinite Campus portal. And next week, when we meet with current 11th grade students to plan their senior year course request, we will help students identify where that academic planner section is so that they can see their current credit status. Okay, moving on. So one of the things that I'd like to make sure all college-bound students and parents understand is that college admissions have what's called higher education admission recommendations or requirements. What that means is some colleges, many colleges, have different minimum requirements for admission than what District 20 requires for graduation. An example of this is in math. We require 3 years of math to graduate. Many colleges will want students to take 4 years of math in high school. Another area is in world language. In District 20, you're only required 1 year to graduate. Many colleges, again, will want 2 or 3 years. So it's highly encouraged for students to reach out to admissions offices and websites to look at their HERE requirements and minimum admission standards. If you have any questions about a college admissions recommendation for credits, please again reach out to those schools directly or see me in the counseling office. Naviance. Naviance is an important tool that we use for student individual career and academic planning, or ICAP. ICAP is an individualized plan developed by students, shared with parents and educators. ICAP helps students recognize their post-secondary options and develop a plan to achieve their goals. Students can use Naviance to discover more about themselves, easily research colleges, and match their interests with schools across the nation. The MI Advantage is a task within Naviance assigned to juniors that asks them a series of questions about themselves for the purpose of figuring out which educational and career paths are a good fit for them. You should start here to learn more about yourself and your interests before diving into the college search. Another tool within Naviance students can use is called a Supermatch College Search, which allows students to search for schools that match all of their criteria using several different filters. Students can then add their match colleges to a list of colleges they are thinking about, which is a great place to start before entering into senior year. All students should complete ICAP tasks because they are mandatory. These tools are here to help discover more about yourself and gives you a great place to start. Students need to make sure they get acquainted with Naviance because they will use this program a lot during their senior year. You should know how to log in and especially know how to use the search functions within the Supermatch College Search. This is a screenshot of what Naviance landing page looks like when students log in. The way in which students access Naviance is off of the Rampart High School student logins page. They use their Outlook MSA email account to log in. When they log in, this is the screen that comes forward for them, and the tabs across the top are the main ways in which students can navigate the different features within Naviance. There's the Colleges tab, which offers a lot of different college research tools. There's the Career tab that offers a lot of career exploration activities, as well as additional features like a resume builder and so forth. Again, students have accessed Naviance through presentations in our library in the fall. They will also be directed to log into Naviance again next week when we conduct registration through classroom visits on Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. College visits are an important part of the decision-making process when figuring out which schools you'd like to apply to in the fall of your senior year. Many schools are offering virtual tours and one-on-one meetings with college representatives to tour the school or have your questions answered. Some schools, again, have opened up their campuses to small group tours, and that's something to look into as well. Make the most of your time that you have off during breaks to attend some of these virtual or in-person visits if you can. With spring break coming up, this is the perfect time to do more college research and attend some visits. Many students utilize the summer before their senior year to continue their college search and tour campuses as well. Do what's best for you and most comfortable. We also have many college rep visits at Rampart all year long, which are open to all students to attend. Our visits are held mostly in the library, and students can search and sign up for these visits within their Naviance accounts. What's most important for you as juniors right now is to get started on something and figure out what you may or may not be a good fit for you. So please do some time in researching some schools and attending those visits to help give you a sense of direction. I also want to make you aware of the Colorado Virtual Career Fair, which is going to be held on April 18th through the 21st. I highly encourage everyone to check this out, especially because you can attend sessions from the comfort of your home. They are bringing in panelists from different industries to speak to students and answer questions. There are flyers in the Schoology page as well as on the Rampart College and Career Events page. Please check out those because there is a registration QR code and link. And information about the Colorado Virtual Fair is also in the weekly Rampart newsletter. If you plan to play Division I or Division II athletics in college, you must create an account within the Eligibility Center. Division I and Division II athletics have strict guidelines as to how many classes you need to have completed by certain points throughout high school, as well as GPA requirements. It's important to note that your Rampart GPA may not be the same GPA that the Eligibility Center will calculate for you. This is because the Eligibility Center has their own list of approved core courses that they recognize and count towards your core GPA. You can look through the core course list on their website to ensure the classes you're taking at Rampart align with the NCAA eligibility requirements. If you have any questions regarding core course requirements for Division I or Division II, please reach out to me and I will help you. You will also need to send any ACT or SAT scores you have to the Eligibility Centers. I have included their code on this slide for when you register for your exams. These scores must be sent by the testing agencies themselves, as student test scores are no longer included on student transcripts. Transcripts will also need to be sent to NCAA, and you'll need to start requesting those at the end of this current term, so your entire junior year grades are reflected on your transcript. It's important for you to keep in mind for college applications that everyone's experience is going to be different. If you intend to apply to a technical school or a community college, most of the time you'll just need to apply and provide your school with a transcript. If you're applying to a four-year university, you may need to answer essay questions, write a personal statement, provide letters of recommendation from one or more teachers, or provide a written evaluation. The written evaluation is like a letter of recommendation, but it's written by one of your counselors, which will either be Ms. Hinken, myself, Ms. Bratt, or Ms. Schneider. If you're applying to an Ivy League school, your application process may include personal interviews with a panel of admission members or faculty from the university. It's important for you to pay attention to each school's deadlines to start on an application with ample time, at least 4 weeks in advance, especially if you're in need of letters of recommendation. I will meet with students in the fall of their senior year right after school begins to discuss all of the ways in which students will request official documents in Naviance and other important details. There will also be a senior information night at the start of next school year with more in-depth instructions and resources. We do not process transcript requests or any other requests for documents over the summer because our offices are closed. We do return to work the first week in August and begin processing requests at that time. With college applications, you should know that there are many different ways to apply to schools. Some schools only accept applications direct to their institution, while others accept applications using companies such as the Common Application. These two methods are the most common ways in which students apply to schools. The Common Application is recognized at nearly 900 colleges in the nation and makes applying to these schools easier for students. This is because students only have to fill out their information one time, often along with supplemental essays, depending on the college. And then they submit their one application compared to filling out 4 or 5 different applications. When it comes time to apply to schools in the fall, students will need to check out the websites of the colleges they are interested in to see if they accept the Common App. If most of the schools you're interested in use it, then it's worth your time to fill out this application. If just 1 or 2 of the schools on your list accept the Common App, it may be more advantage to just fill out each individual school's applications. There are also other options to apply to colleges, such as the Coalition app. So again, please reach out to us and to the college application admission websites if you have questions. This leads to our next bullet. What is Naviance used for? We already know that students can use the tools within Naviance for post-secondary planning, but the College and Career Office at Rampart also uses Naviance to send off Rampart documents for student applications. Examples of this include transcripts, letters of recommendation, secondary school reports, and more. These are all requested by students within Naviance, and we'll get into that next year when it comes time for you to apply to schools. With financial aid, everything begins with the free application for federal student aid, or the FAFSA. The FAFSA is required for most federal and state financial aid, and colleges use this to build their financial aid packages for students. The aid awarded varies by college as well as by student situations, and aid can look like work study programs, grants, loans, or other scholarships. Students complete the FAFSA along with their parent or guardian because you will use your prior year's tax information to fill out the application. The FAFSA will open in the fall of your senior year, likely in the first part of October. So you have plenty of time to go until you need to worry about this. There will be a district financial aid night around early October where we will bring in a financial aid expert from a college to go through all of the ins and outs of the FAFSA and financial aid in general. Most scholarships out there are for current seniors, so the majority of your scholarship search will not happen until your senior year. There are some scholarships available to juniors at different points throughout the year, and many of those require a referral from a school staff member because they are typically merit-based and highly competitive. Any information we get about scholarships is updated in the District 20 scholarship list, which is accessed through Naviance. This list will continue to grow as we learn of new scholarships throughout your senior year. I've also included links to other helpful free scholarship search sites, and one of my favorites is FastWeb because although it's extensive, there are several filters you can use to tailor your scholarship search to better fit what you're looking for. You'll also want to be sure that you check out individual colleges' websites next fall for separate scholarship applications and be aware of their deadlines as well. It's important to keep in mind that students spend a lot of time applying for many different scholarships with the hopes of being awarded just one thing. You'll need to put in a lot of different work in researching and applying for scholarships, and that process may be during your entire senior year. You have to keep in mind that scholarship applications can look a variety of different ways, and so it's really important that you do your research, reach out to resources, and get some help in completing those applications. There's a lot of different scholarships out there, and you need to be careful in selecting and finding the right ones that apply and pertain to you. Some other important information that I want juniors to be aware of is that there are going to be a lot of different announcements about opportunities as we move into the summer for juniors in particular. Such things could include information about the military academy application process, There's also an opportunity for Boys and Girls State, which is only for current juniors, which is a great opportunity, a leadership opportunity for boys and girls in the state of Colorado. Again, there's an additional opportunity for students to experience a leadership seminar at UCCS through the Rocky Mountain Youth Leadership Conference. There are informational sessions about NCAA and Eligibility Center meetings that are posted. We'll be posting information about the Betcher Foundation Scholarship early into senior year. The Betcher Foundation is a full ride, all tuition, all fees, books, room and board, everything paid for students who are Betcher Scholarship winners. But Betcher Scholarship winners must stay within Colorado to obtain that scholarship. So again, lots of different things that are announced and posted, and so I highly encourage you to keep track of those things and come ask questions if you have questions moving forward. So that concludes our time this evening. I have a colleague, Mrs. McFarlane, on this call as well, that she's been monitoring the chat. If there are any questions from the information shared tonight, please go ahead and post those in the chat, and we'll spend a few minutes answering those. If you would like to schedule a time to meet with me and separately, please don't hesitate to reach out to myself or my assistant, Ms. Cooper, and we'd be glad to visit with you. And I just appreciate everyone attending tonight on this cold, snowy evening. Mrs. McFarland, do we have any questions?
There was one question earlier about ICAP within Naviance. Someone asked, what percentage of students have an ICAP within Naviance? I gave an answer, but I'm not sure if I was understanding the correct question correctly. But I did say that all students have Naviance accounts and are required to complete ICAP tasks. Is there anything else you would add to that?
No, that's exactly right. All students have a Naviance account. All students have tasks to complete. We provide opportunities and facilitate that throughout the course of the year during various times and follow up with students who have not completed that as of yet, but that's something we do monitor. But the best hope is that all students complete those tasks as assigned.
Yeah. Okay, that is the only question thus far. We might give a few more seconds to see if any more pop in the Q&A.
Okay.
So if you have a question, find the Q&A on your screen, go ahead and give it a click and type away. We'll address anything we can. Well, Ms. Lucero, do you want to give it another second, or how are you feeling? Nothing's coming through at this time.
Okay. Well, I guess we can go ahead and conclude this meeting, and again, appreciate your attendance tonight, and please reach out if you have any questions. Hope everyone has a safe and warm evening on this cold, snowy night. Thanks again.